Arianti from English Education Study Program Class A in PKRI Wirankara University. In this time, I'm gonna talk about uncountable noun and some of points that relatable with uncountable noun, such as about any word that can be used with uncountable noun, about the way how use unit to count part of uncountable noun, and about some quantifiers. Noun itself is divided into two types. There are countable and uncountable nouns. And it sometimes can be tricky because most people are treating uncountable nouns like countable nouns or countable nouns like uncountable nouns. Okay, so the first point, the easiest way to remember uncountable noun is to think about nouns that are difficult to count. Uncountable nouns are nouns that we cannot count. So, countable means able to count and the prefix "un" means not. So, not countable. In uncountable noun, we cannot use 1, 2, or 3 to count number of these nouns. With uncountable noun, we can use some determiner, for example like this and that, and we can use possessive like my, his, her, our, and so on. However, we cannot use a or an with uncountable noun. This is because a and an are used for the singular forms. Here are some common uncountable nouns. The first example is time. So, time is an uncountable noun. We don't count 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times. We don't do that. However, we count part of times, measurement of time. For example, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, and millennia. These all are the countable nouns we use to count the part of times, and we cannot count time, we just can count the part of time only. Okay, another couple that's fairly common are money. We are not count money, instead we count the part of money. For example, cents, dollars, yen, pounds, euros, or rupiahs. We use currency, the type of money, and the part within the currency to count. So we cannot count money, but we can count the type of money. Another very common example is clothes. So there are many different kind of clothes. We don't say 1 clothes, 2 clothes, 3 clothes. Instead, we count the smaller item inside the category of clothes. For example, pair of pants, shirt, sweaters, socks, shoes, or hats. So, these are just a few examples of uncountable nouns and some of the units we can use to count the part within those uncountable nouns. Okay, and the last thing for today is quantifiers. So we use quantifier to talk about amount of nouns. In this case, I'm going to talk about some quantifiers we can use to talk about the amounts of uncountable nouns. Okay, the first one we can use no, for example, like I have no time. The second one we can use don't plus verb plus any, like I don't have any time. The third one we can say almost, like I have almost no time. The fourth one we can say not much, like I don't have much time or I don't need much to drink, for example. We also can use much, but we need to use it in a negative way. We also can use a bit of, like I have a bit of juice to drink. We also can use some, so if we might say I have some clothes, I want to throw it away. So we can use some in it. And the next one we can use lots of and lots of. The example is like I bought a lot of milk last night, or I bought a lot of juice last night. We also can use quite a lot, like I have quite a lot of time. These are just a few examples of some experience you might hear with uncountable noun, and we can use some of these. As you can see here, some of these are okay to use with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. And another point here I want to mention is we cannot use much in some statement like I have much money or I have much time. We cannot use much in this way because much is a positive statement of quantity. In this case, we should use a lot of or quite a lot. So it's gonna be I have a lot of time or I have quite a lot of time when the much is used in the negative way. So like I don't have much time, for example. And please be careful with this because it is a very common mistake. Alright, these are the few points that I want to explain about uncountable nouns today. And if you have any question or comments, or you want to try making an example sentence, please feel free to do it in the comment section below. And if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm Diandry Arianti. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.